I'm going to build a reusable sub zap in Zapier right now, so you can call the same group of steps from multiple zaps without rebuilding them. We'll sign in first. I'm typing zapier.com, hitting sign in, and here's my dashboard. Click Create up in the top right, then Zaps. This blank editor is where we'll build the sub zap. The trigger step is already open. Click it, type sub zap, select sub zap, and then choose Start a sub zap. Every sub zap has to begin with this trigger. Now the input fields. These tell the parent zap what information to send in. I usually sketch this out first so the field names map cleanly. Click Add Input field, type recipient email, and we'll make it mandatory by putting an asterisk at the end, so recipient email star. Add another, recipient name, and a third, message. You can add more later, but 3 is plenty to get the concept wired. I'm hitting continue, then test trigger. The sample data will look empty because no parent has called this yet. That is completely expected, so don't worry. Now we add the reusable action. Click the plus below the trigger, search Gmail, select Gmail, and choose Send Email. Connect your Gmail account if it's not already linked, then click Continue. The To field is the first place people hard-code an address. Don't do that. Click inside it, open the data mapping panel, and pick recipient email from the sub zap trigger. That pulls the address from the parent zap at runtime. In the subject line, type hello, space, then insert the recipient name field so the subject becomes personal. In the body, I'll write "Here is your message" and insert the message field. This is what makes a sub zap reusable. Different parent zaps can pass different text, and the same email step still works. Click Test Step. Zapier sends a test email. I'll switch over to Gmail real quick, and here's the test message with the dynamic name and message showing up. Good. Back in the editor, I'm adding the step that a lot of people forget. Hit the plus after Gmail, search sub zap again, select sub zap, and this time pick return from a sub zap. If you skip this, the parent zap can hang in a delayed state. Every sub zap must end with a return step, no exceptions. Inside the return step, I add a field called status and set its value to a static email sent. You could map the Gmail step's message ID if you needed it later. Test the step, see the output, then rename the sub zap at the top. I'm calling it reusable email notification. Now publish it, click publish, confirm it's on. The sub zap won't be callable until it's published. Time for the parent zap. Click create zaps again. This trigger can be anything. I'm picking Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets, new spreadsheet row, connect a sheet with email, name, and message columns, test the trigger to make sure you see sample data. I've got a row with a test email, a name, and a short message. Add a plus, search sub zap, choose sub zap, and for the action event, select call a sub zap. Choose the same Zapier account where you built the sub zap. Open select your sub zap and pick reusable email notification. The input fields I set up appear immediately. Map recipient email to the Google Sheets email column, recipient name to the name column, and message to the message column. One thing, when you test this step, Zapier does not actually send the data to the sub zap during the test. You'll see a preview of what the return data would look like, but the real workflow only fires live. I like to use the return data right away to confirm the loop closed. Click the plus, add a Slack action, send a channel message, and map the text field to the status return value we set. So when the email goes out, Slack gets a confirmation. Test that step too. The parent zap now shows Sheets, call a sub zap, Slack. Publish it. I'll drop a new row into the sheet, second test entry, and switch to Zapier Zap History. Here's the run. Click into the parent, and you can see the call a sub zap step completed with the return status. There's even a link that jumps you directly to the sub zap's own run detail, so you can follow the full execution chain from one place. A few things to know now that you've built one. That same sub zap can be called from completely different zaps. I'll quickly open a new Google Forms zap, add call a sub zap, and select reusable email notification again. I don't rebuild the email logic, I just map different incoming fields. That's the whole point. But sub zaps have hard rules. If the sub zap doesn't reach the return step, say a filter blocks it or a path branch gets orphaned, the parent zap stays delayed. I always make sure every path inside a sub zap has its own return from a sub zap step. Also, you can't use a looping step inside a sub zap right now. The trigger itself does not consume tasks, though the actions inside still count. If this walkthrough saved you from rebuilding the same email step across 10 zaps, hit like and subscribe and leave a comment saying this was helpful, because comments are what push it to other people searching for the same thing.